Imagine American streets alive with protest, signs held high, but these aren't the usual slogans. They bear the name of Ibrahim Traoré, a 37-year-old African soldier from Burkina Faso, a man who's never stepped into the White House yet is shaking its very foundations. His image is spray-painted on walls in Chicago, his name chanted in Oakland, and his words flood TikTok feeds across the United States. This isn't just a fleeting trend, it's a movement, one that has Washington, and even Donald Trump on edge. Why is a young African revolutionary outshining the West's most powerful leaders? Why are Americans from Harlem to Los Angeles demanding their government take notes from a man leading a landlocked nation thousands of miles away? Could this be the moment Africa stops following and starts leading the world? What began as a single poster in a New York rally exploded into something bigger. Within days, Traoré's name echoed in chants from Atlanta to Seattle, his beret-clad image plastered on murals in Miami and stenciled on Brooklyn subway walls. This wasn't just solidarity, it was a wake-up call. Americans weren't just praising Traoré. They were holding him up as a mirror to their leaders' failures. What makes him so magnetic? It's not just that he's African, it's that he's unapologetic, uncompromised, and unafraid. At 34, when he seized power in Burkina Faso, he didn't wait for Western approval. He expelled foreign troops, rejected exploitative trade deals, and bet on his nation's grit to rebuild. No billionaire backers, no corporate campaigns, just a soldier acting on his people's anger. For Americans drowning in empty promises and corporate-controlled politics, Traoré's courage feels like a lifeline, a revival of what leadership should be. For Black America, Traoré's rise strikes a deeper chord. For centuries, the African diaspora was fed a narrative of a broken continent starving, chaotic, dependent. That story was deliberate, designed to sever ties and make African Americans see their roots as shame, not strength. But Traoré is rewriting that narrative in real time. He's not begging for Western aid or groveling at global summits. He's building roads, securing gold mines, and feeding his people despite sanctions. His message is clear. Burkina Faso will stand tall, not kneel. This defiance resonates like thunder. In community centers from Detroit to Baltimore, his speeches are studied like manifestos. His rejection of foreign control mirrors Malcolm X's fire. His self-reliance echoes Marcus Garvey's call for Black economic power. And his youth, 37 years old, speaks to a generation tired of waiting. On TikTok, his clips aren't just viral, they're a battle cry, stitched with images of crumbling American infrastructure, soaring rents and endless wars, posing a stark question: if a small African nation can defy empires, why can't the richest country deliver for its people? This isn't just admiration, it's action. Traoré's influence is sparking real change. In Chicago, a cooperative farm launched inspired by Burkina Faso's food sovereignty, rejecting corporate grocery chains for local growers and local power. In Los Angeles, a youth group started Traoré Talks, dissecting his policies to rethink urban planning. In Atlanta, a mural of Traoré stands beside MLK's, captioned "Dignity, not Dependence." This movement has direction, a model, and a mission, not just rage against the system, but a blueprint to replace it. When DC protesters chant "Hands off Traoré," or hold signs reading "Burkina builds, America breaks," they're exposing a truth. A sanctioned nation is outpacing a superpower in courage and vision. Washington is rattled. Intelligence reports flag Traoré not as a military threat, but as an idea spreading faster than sanctions can contain. Trump's team is scrambling Traoré's popularity on X and TikTok, especially among Gen Z and Black Americans, is outshining their narrative. He doesn't tweet or give interviews. He doesn't need to. His actions building schools, nationalizing resources, forging alliances with Mali and Niger speak louder than any press conference. That silence is deafening for a White House built on sound bites. The irony: Traoré isn't trying to lead America. He's focused on his own people, yet his defiance has sparked a fire across the Atlantic. Americans are asking, what if we built like Burkina Faso? What if communities grew their own food, controlled their wealth, and rejected a system profiting off their struggle? In Oakland, a housing initiative draws from Traore's urban reforms. In Houston, a study group analyzes his gold nationalization. To rethink local economies. This is bigger than one man. It's a shift in how the African diaspora sees itself. Africa was long painted as a victim, a place to pity. Traore has flipped that narrative. His Burkina Faso doesn't ask for handouts, it demands respect. For African Americans, that's personal. Community centers are swapping third world for first and courage. Burkina Faso's flag flies alongside America's, not as rejection, but as a reclamation of shared strength. Hashtags like hashtag Africa Leads and hashtag Tiara or vibes trend alongside hashtag Black Lives Matter, tying the diaspora's fight to a global awakening. Ibrahim Traoré didn't ask to be a global icon, he just led with purpose. In doing so, he's handed the world a new playbook, not just for Africa, but for anyone tired of broken systems. The question now is, can this spark ignite lasting change? Can Americans turn chants into co-ops, murals into movements? If they can, this isn't just a viral moment, it's the dawn of a world where Africa doesn't just rise, it leads. Can America learn from Ibrahim Traoré? Is his fearless, people-first leadership the future, even for the so-called First World? Should Americans push their leaders to adopt his policies? Share your thoughts, and if you want more stories of Africa's rise, bookmark this page with CTRL+D for easy access. Africa's history, culture, and unstoppable spirit are calling. Stay bold, stay inspired, and keep learning from the continent that's rewriting the rules.